Wow, this game was crazy. The Sharks defeat the Arizona Coyotes in a shootout by a whopping final score of 8-7. Highest scoring game this season in hockey. I mean, that's 15 combined goals. I mean, really 14, but then you had the shootout. So, yeah, 15. And the Sharks did not really play good tonight. They were sloppy. I mean, you're playing a Coyotes team that only has 6 wins and 21 losses, 24 if you count the overtime losses. So this isn't a good team we're playing, and it's the first Sharks game in a long time. Obviously, we had the delay with the postponing of all these games. So yeah, the Sharks. This is their first game since the 16th, which was a loss against the Canucks. But yeah, it's good to see the Sharks win. I mean, a lot of goals is good. I liked what I saw in terms of our goal scoring, but in terms of stopping the Yotes, we did not do good in that account. Logan Couture was good in this game. It was a new season high in goals, barely enough to beat the worst team in hockey. Logan Couture and Tomas Hertl both scored in the shootout. So, yeah, Reimer was good in the shootout. He was in net. I mean, he stopped all of the goals, but attempts, and it was just, overall a good shootout. Overtime, there were no goals in it. Overtime was intense, for sure. And I think, we just got to keep going and hopefully win some more because it's a tight standings in the Pacific. But yeah, Hertl came out of COVID protocols and delivered twice for the Sharks in this game. He has 15 goals and added a shootout goal, which is good as well. The Sharks overall, they were good with scoring, and the defense was very sloppy, though. That was one thing I wanted to emphasize. Like, the defense was one thing that just needs to get better. You're playing Arizona, a team clearly in a rebuild, or, just completely not good. The Sharks, they needed to play better on defense. They had goals from, there was no player that had more than one goal in regulation, at least. Alexander Barabanov got a goal, which is good to see. Logan Couture, Timo Meier, Nick Bonino, Tomas Hertl had one, and then the second in overtime, obviously. Radim Šimić had a goal, and Jeffrey Truckenviel, guy I've hardly heard of, got a goal. Reimer was 39 for 46, allowing 7 goals. At least we won, but that's not a very good turnout for him. Scott Wedgwood was in net for the Yotes. He was 20 for 27, also not very good. Lawson Krause got 2 goals and 2 assists for the Yotes. Phil Kessel got 4 assists, so he had 4 points. So did Krause. 3 assists for Larson. Shane Gossesbier got a goal and an assist. Clayton Keller got a goal. Andrew Ladd. I mean, they have good players, right? They're just not a good team, clearly. The shootout was interesting. The Sharks, looked good in it. The 2 goals they had in it, that's all they needed. It was overall a very, very entertaining, interesting game. And the Sharks had a 2-goal lead in the third period, but they kind of fell apart at the end. There was 1.5 minutes left in regulation, and the Yotes scored with a power play goal from Ladd. Then the goalie was pulled at that moment. So yeah, very much an interesting game. A lot to take in this. Sharks had a power play less than a minute into overtime, but they couldn't score. And then Brent Burns, he drew a hooking penalty on a breakaway. They failed to convert. They were just very rusty. They haven't played at this point in over a week at this point. So yeah, it's definitely a rusty game, but it was entertaining. It was on ESPN, so the whole country, nationwide, got to see the Sharks put on an absolute show. We're gonna play the Flyers for the last game on the homestand before heading to Pittsburgh. That should be interesting. That'll be on the 30th. But yeah, I'm very much relieved we won this. I did not want to lose to the Coyotes. They're a bad team, as of right now, we're still 5th place in the division, but we're very much, in striking distance, 3 points back of the Oilers. Let's win them all. Let's go. Let's keep going. And anyways, guys, Sharks win a crazy game, 8-7 in shootout. They moved to 16-14-1. Yotes moved to 6-21-3. Let me know your thoughts. I'll see you guys later. And peace out. Go Sharks.